The alien inspection station hummed with an otherworldly energy that made Captain Camilla Rodriguez's skin crawl. 3 years of deep space missions had never prepared her for this moment. The Zephyrian Empire's massive orbital platform stretched endlessly in all directions, its crystalline walls pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that seemed to follow her every movement. Human vessel designation, Earth 779. Prepare for mandatory inspection, the translator crackled through her ship's communication system. The voice belonged to Commander Thex High, a towering Zephyrian whose insectoid features and multiple arms had become the stuff of nightmares for many human crews. Camilla's hands trembled slightly as she guided her transport vessel into the docking bay. The Royal Guard insignia on her uniform felt heavier than usual. She had been transporting classified research data from the outer colonies back to Earth when the Zephyrian patrol intercepted her route. What should have been a routine cargo run had turned into a diplomatic incident waiting to happen. The docking clamps engaged with a metallic screech that echoed through her small ship. Through the viewport, she could see dozens of Zephyrian security drones floating in perfect formation, their scanning beams already probing her vessel's hull. Each drone was the size of a human torso, equipped with sensors that could detect everything from atomic composition to quantum fluctuations. "Captain Rodriguez, you will exit your vessel immediately." Commander Thex High's voice boomed as he approached her ship's entrance. His 4 arms moved in synchronized gestures, operating multiple scanning devices simultaneously. "The Galactic Trade Commission has received reports of unauthorized technology transfer. You are suspected of smuggling forbidden human innovations." Camilla stepped out of her ship, her boots echoing on the metallic deck plating. The artificial gravity felt different here, slightly stronger than Earth standard, making her movements feel sluggish. The air tasted of ozone and something metallic that reminded her of old pennies. "Commander, I assure you my cargo manifest is completely accurate," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "I'm transporting agricultural samples and research data, nothing more." Thex High's compound eyes fixed on her with an intensity that made her feel like a specimen under a microscope. "Your species has a reputation for creativity in circumventing regulations. The Council has become increasingly concerned about human technological advancement." The truth was more complicated than either of them could openly acknowledge. Humanity had been developing breakthrough technologies at a pace that alarmed the older galactic civilizations. While officially they were junior members of the Galactic Federation, human innovation had begun to threaten the established order. Weapons systems, faster-than-light communication, and energy sources that defied conventional understanding were emerging from human laboratories with frightening regularity. As Thex High's security team began their methodical search of her cargo bay, Camilla's mind raced. Hidden in her car dashboard was a data chip containing the complete schematics for humanity's latest achievement, a quantum processor that could calculate faster-than-light navigation in real time. It was the breakthrough that would allow human ships to travel anywhere in the galaxy instantaneously without relying on the ancient jump gates controlled by the elder species. The irony wasn't lost on her that she was driving a modified Earth vehicle inside her cargo bay. The old Honda Civic had been retrofitted for space transport, its hydrogen engine replaced with a compact fusion cell. It looked innocuous enough, just another example of human attachment to their primitive surface vehicles. Most aliens found it amusing that humans insisted on bringing their ground cars into space. "Begin deep scans of all cargo," Thex High ordered his subordinates. "Pay particular attention to any concealed compartments or modified equipment." Camilla watched nervously as the Zephyrian scanners swept over crates of genetically modified seeds and boxes of mineral samples. Their technology was impressive, but followed predictable patterns. They scanned for energy signatures, unusual materials, and quantum fluctuations. What they couldn't detect was information stored in quantum-encrypted crystalline matrices disguised as decorative elements. The data chip in her dashboard was embedded inside what appeared to be a simple earth gemstone, a piece of quartz that any casual observer would dismiss as worthless decoration. The quantum encryption made it invisible to standard scans, appearing to be nothing more than silicon dioxide with trace impurities. "Your species fascinates me, Captain," Thexhai said, approaching her position near the cargo bay entrance. "You take ancient primitive devices and somehow make them function in environments they were never designed for." He gestured toward her modified car with one of his 4 arms. "Humans are resourceful," Camilla replied carefully. "We make do with what we have." "Indeed, perhaps too resourceful for your own good." The search continued for nearly 2 hours. Zephyrian technicians dismantled shipping containers, analyzed atmospheric samples, and subjected every piece of equipment to intensive scanning. They found nothing suspicious in the declared cargo, exactly as Camilla had expected. The real treasure remained hidden in plain sight. As the inspection neared its end, Camilla began to allow herself to hope. The quantum processor data would revolutionize human space travel. No longer would they be dependent on alien infrastructure or limited to predetermined routes between star systems. Humanity would finally have true freedom to explore the galaxy. But freedom always came with a price, and the established galactic powers knew it. The Zephyrian Empire, the Crystalline Hegemony, and the Elder Collective had maintained their dominance for millennia by controlling transportation, communication, and energy production. Human independence threatened not just their economic interests, but their entire way of life. "Captain Rodriguez," Thexhai said as his team began to pack up their equipment, "your cargo appears to be in order. However, I am required to conduct a final personal inspection of your vessel's cabin area." Camilla's heart skipped a beat. The cabin inspection wasn't part of standard protocol unless they suspected something specific. Had someone leaked information about her mission? Was this entire intercept planned rather than the random patrol stop she had assumed? "Of course, Commander," she managed to say. "I have nothing to hide." As they walked toward her ship's entrance, Camilla caught sight of her modified Honda through the cargo bay opening. The little car sat innocently among the shipping containers, its faded blue paint and Earth license plates making it look completely out of place in the high-tech environment. Hidden in its dashboard was humanity's future, disguised as a simple piece of decorative stone. The real question was whether Commander Thexhai's suspicions were strong enough to warrant a component-level analysis of her personal vehicle. If he ordered a molecular scan of the dashboard, the quantum-encrypted data chip would be exposed despite its camouflage. The crystal structure would reveal itself under that level of scrutiny. Walking up the ramp into her ship, Camilla made a silent prayer to whatever cosmic forces might be listening. Humanity's next evolutionary leap toward true galactic citizenship hung in the balance, hidden behind the cracked vinyl dashboard of a 20-year-old economy car from Earth. Commander Thexhai moved through Camilla's ship with the methodical precision of a predator. His 4 arms operated different scanning devices simultaneously, while his compound eyes examined every surface for signs of deception. The ship's cramped living quarters offered few places to hide anything substantial. But Camilla knew that Zephyrian technology could detect concealment methods that would fool most species. "Your vessel is remarkably well maintained for a human transport," Thexhai observed, running a scanner along the wall panels. "Most of your kind treat their equipment with less respect." "My ship is my livelihood," Camilla replied, trying to keep her breathing steady. "Taking care of it takes care of me." The truth was that every modification on her ship had been carefully planned by Earth's intelligence services. The hull plating contained metamaterials that scattered certain scanning frequencies. The power systems had been shielded to mask their true capabilities. Even the life support systems had been upgraded with technology that officially didn't exist yet. Thexhai paused at the entrance to the cargo bay, his scanning device detecting something that made his antennae twitch. "Captain, I am reading unusual quantum signatures from your cargo area. The patterns are inconsistent with your manifest." Camilla's stomach clenched. The quantum processor data chip was designed to be undetectable, but Zephyrian sensors were more sophisticated than human intelligence had anticipated. If Thexhai detected quantum fluctuations, he might order a more intensive search that would reveal technologies humanity wasn't supposed to possess. "Commander, I can explain that," she said quickly. "Some of the agricultural samples contain genetically modified organisms with quantum-enhanced cellular structures. The modifications help them survive in low-gravity environments. It's all documented in the research papers." It was a calculated lie based on actual human research. Earth scientists had been experimenting with quantum biological hybrid systems for years, though not for the innocent purposes she claimed. The real applications involved creating biological computers that could process information faster than any electronic system. Thexhai's translator made clicking sounds as he processed her explanation. "Quantum biological systems are restricted technology under Galactic Trade Commission regulations. You should not possess such materials without proper authorization." "The authorization is in my diplomatic pouch," Camilla said, moving toward a storage compartment near the navigation console. "Earth Command provided all necessary documentation for my cargo." As she retrieved the forged documents, Camilla caught a glimpse of her Honda through the cargo bay opening. The car sat exactly where she had left it, looking impossibly ordinary among the high-tech shipping containers. She had spent countless hours modifying that dashboard, carefully embedding the quantum data chip inside what appeared to be a simple decorative crystal. The fake authorization documents were masterpieces of human deception. They contained all the correct quantum signatures and holographic seals that Zephyrian systems would recognize as authentic. What they didn't reveal was that the agricultural samples were actually prototype weapons systems disguised as farming equipment. Humanity had learned to hide in plain sight. Every innocent-looking piece of technology served dual purposes. Communication devices doubled as jamming systems. Medical scanners could be reconfigured as targeting systems. Even basic tools contained components that could be assembled into more dangerous applications. "These documents appear to be in order," Thexhai admitted grudgingly after examining the authorization codes. "However, I am still detecting unusual energy patterns. My sensors indicate that something in your cargo bay is generating quantum interference." Camilla's mind raced through possible explanations. The quantum processor chip was supposed to be completely passive, but maybe the Zephyrian scanning had activated some kind of response protocol. Human quantum technology was still experimental, and unexpected interactions were always possible. "Commander, could your own scanning equipment be creating interference?" she suggested. "Human quantum biological systems sometimes react unpredictably to intense electromagnetic fields." It was another calculated lie, but one based on genuine scientific uncertainty. Quantum systems were notoriously sensitive to environmental conditions, and the interaction between human and Zephyrian technology remained poorly understood by both species. Thexhai paused his scanning and exchanged rapid clicking sounds with his subordinates through their communication devices. The conversation was too fast for Camilla's translator to process, but the tone suggested disagreement or confusion among the Zephyrian inspection team. "Captain Rodriguez," Thexhai said finally, "my technical specialists are recommending a complete molecular analysis of your cargo. This would require dismantling all equipment and examining individual components." The words hit Camilla like a physical blow. A molecular analysis would reveal everything: the hidden weapon systems, the advanced communication equipment, and especially the quantum processor data chip concealed in her car's dashboard. Humanity's technological secrets would be exposed, and the consequences would extend far beyond her personal fate. "Commander, that level of analysis would destroy many of my samples," she protested. The biological specimens are extremely fragile. Any disruption of their quantum cellular structures would render them worthless for research purposes. Perhaps that is a necessary sacrifice for galactic security, Thexhai replied coldly. The Council has become increasingly concerned about human technological development. Your species advances too quickly, too unpredictably. The truth behind his words was the real reason for this inspection. The older galactic civilizations were afraid. For millions of years, they had controlled the pace of technological advancement through careful regulation and resource management. Humanity's rapid development threatened their established order. Camilla realized that this moment would determine not just her own fate, but possibly the future relationship between humanity and the galactic community. If the Zephyrians discovered evidence of unauthorized human technology, it could trigger trade sanctions, travel restrictions, or even military intervention. Commander, I understand your concerns about human development, she said carefully, but consider this. Forcing a molecular analysis based on sensor irregularities could set a dangerous precedent. What happens when human ships start demanding the same level of inspection for Zephyrian vessels? Thexhai's compound eyes fixed on her with renewed interest. Are you suggesting that humans possess the technological capability to conduct such analyses? I'm suggesting that galactic commerce depends on mutual trust and consistent application of regulations, Camilla replied. If suspicion alone justifies destructive inspection procedures, trade relationships between all species become impossible. It was a diplomatic gambit, appealing to Zephyrian pragmatism rather than their security concerns. The Zephyrian Empire depended heavily on interspecies trade, and disrupting commercial relationships would hurt their economy as much as humanity's. The alien commander stood silent for several minutes, his scanning devices continuing to probe the cargo bay while he considered her words. Camilla could see her Honda in the background, its mundane appearance hiding humanity's most advanced achievement in faster-than-light navigation technology. Captain Rodriguez, Thexhai said eventually, I will compromise. Instead of a full molecular analysis, I will conduct a focused quantum scan of the items generating the unusual signatures. This should minimize damage to your samples while addressing our security concerns. Camilla's heart raced. A focused quantum scan might still detect the data chip, especially if Thexhai decided to examine her personal vehicle. The quantum encryption was designed to fool standard scans, but focused analysis from close range could reveal the crystal's true nature. That seems reasonable, Commander, she agreed, having no other choice. I appreciate your consideration for the integrity of my cargo. As Thexhai prepared his specialized scanning equipment, Camilla found herself staring at her modified Honda. Hidden in its dashboard was technology that could revolutionize human space travel, freeing her species from dependence on alien infrastructure. The question was whether human ingenuity had been clever enough to fool one of the galaxy's most advanced military inspection systems. The focused quantum scanner hummed with an intensity that made Camilla's teeth ache. Commander Thexhai moved methodically through her cargo bay, his device painting everything with invisible energy that revealed the deepest secrets of matter itself. Each shipping container glowed briefly under his examination before he moved on to the next target. The quantum signatures are strongest in this area, Thexhai announced, approaching the section where Camilla's modified Honda sat among the agricultural containers. I am detecting multiple sources of interference centered around your personal transport vehicle. Camilla forced herself to remain calm even as her pulse quickened. Commander, that old car has been with me for years. It's heavily modified for space transport, which might explain the unusual readings. Modified how? Thexhai asked, his four arms adjusting different controls on his scanning device. The quantum scanner's intensity increased, causing the air around Camilla's car to shimmer with barely visible distortions. Fusion power cell instead of the original combustion engine, atmospheric recycling systems for vacuum environments, radiation shielding for deep space travel, Camilla listed, sticking to modifications that were visible and documented. Nothing unusual for human space adaptation. What she didn't mention were the dozens of other changes. The dashboard had been completely rebuilt with quantum-encrypted storage systems disguised as decorative elements. The seats contained emergency communication arrays that could contact Earth Command from anywhere in the galaxy. Even the car's original radio had been replaced with a faster-than-light communication device. Thexhai approached the Honda's driver's side door, his scanner focused on the interior. "Captain, I am detecting quantum crystalline structures inside your vehicle's cabin. These readings are inconsistent with standard human modifications." Camilla's mouth went dry. The quantum data chip was hidden inside what appeared to be a simple quartz crystal mounted on her dashboard. But Thexhai's scanner was sophisticated enough to detect the artificial quantum structures within the disguised storage medium. "Commander, many humans keep decorative crystals in their vehicles," she said quickly. "It's a cultural tradition related to our spiritual beliefs about crystal formations and their energy properties." It was another lie based on partial truth. Some humans did believe in crystal healing and energy focusing, though the scientific community generally dismissed such ideas as superstition. However, Camilla was counting on alien unfamiliarity with human cultural practices to make her explanation believable. "These are not ordinary crystals," Thexhai replied, his scanner painting the Honda's interior with increasingly intense quantum energy. "I am detecting artificially constructed lattice structures with quantum information storage capabilities." The game was up. Camilla realized that Thexhai's equipment was far more advanced than human intelligence had anticipated. The quantum encryption that was supposed to hide the data chip was being systematically unraveled by Zephyrian technology. "Captain Rodriguez," Thexhai said, his voice taking on a tone of grim satisfaction, "you will open your vehicle immediately and surrender any unauthorized technology for examination." Camilla's mind raced through her options. She could refuse and claim diplomatic immunity, but that would only delay the inevitable while escalating the incident into an interstellar crisis. She could try to destroy the data chip remotely, but the quantum storage system didn't have a self-destruct mechanism. "Commander, before I comply, I want to make sure you understand the implications," Camilla said, playing her final diplomatic card. "If you find advanced human technology, what happens next affects not just me, but the entire relationship between our species." Thexhai's compound eyes studied her with predatory intensity. "Captain, the Galactic Trade Commission has suspected human technological violations for months. Finding proof would simply confirm what we already know." "And what do you think you know?" Camilla asked, genuinely curious about the alien perspective on human development. "We know that your species develops technology faster than any civilization in galactic history," Thexhai replied. "In less than a century, you have gone from primitive chemical rockets to faster-than-light capable vessels. You have created artificial intelligence systems that rival our best computers. You have developed weapons that could threaten species with millions of years of advancement." The truth in his words was undeniable. Humanity had compressed millions of years of normal technological development into a few decades through a combination of desperation, innovation, and what other species called reckless experimentation. While aliens advanced cautiously over millennia, humans threw themselves into dangerous research with the assumption that rapid progress was worth the risks. "Commander, what if I told you that the technology you're about to discover isn't a threat to galactic stability, but actually an opportunity for unprecedented cooperation between species?" Camilla asked. "I would say that human definitions of cooperation often involve other species accepting inferior positions in new arrangements," Thexhai replied, skeptically. Camilla reached slowly toward her car's door handle, knowing that opening it would reveal humanity's greatest secret. The quantum processor data contained in her dashboard crystal represented a breakthrough that would change everything. Faster-than-light navigation calculations that currently required massive computer installations could be performed instantly by portable devices. "Open the vehicle, Captain," Thexhai ordered. The Honda's door opened with a soft click that seemed unnaturally loud in the cargo bay's artificial atmosphere. Camilla slipped into the driver's seat, her hand hovering over the dashboard where the disguised data chip waited. The quartz crystal looked innocuous enough, just a decorative stone catching the cargo bay's overhead lighting. "The quantum signatures are emanating from that crystalline formation," Thexhai said, pointing one of his 4 arms at the dashboard crystal. "Remove it immediately." Camilla's fingers closed around the crystal, feeling its cool surface and knowing that she held humanity's future in her palm. The quantum processor technology would free her species from dependence on alien jump gates and controlled shipping lanes. Humans would finally have true freedom to explore the galaxy. "Commander, this crystal contains navigation data for agricultural survey sites," she said, making one final attempt at deception. "The quantum storage format is more efficient than standard data systems." "Captain Rodriguez, please do not insult my intelligence further," Thexhai replied coldly. "My scanners have identified the quantum encrypted information as advanced navigation algorithms far beyond anything your species should possess." Camilla handed over the crystal, watching as Thexhai examined it with devices that could probably decode its quantum encryption within minutes. The game was over, but perhaps the consequences wouldn't be as severe as she feared. "Commander, now that you've found what you're looking for, what happens next?" she asked. Thexhai secured the crystal in a containment field that prevented any possibility of remote data destruction. "You will be detained pending investigation by the Galactic Trade Commission. Your vessel and cargo will be impounded as evidence. Earth Command will be notified of violations requiring immediate diplomatic response." But even as Camilla accepted her capture, she couldn't help but smile. Hidden in the car's seemingly ordinary radio was a faster-than-light communication device that had been transmitting every word of their conversation back to Earth Command. Human intelligence now knew exactly how advanced Zephyrian scanning technology had become. More importantly, the quantum processor data chip that Thexhai had confiscated was a decoy. The real navigation algorithms were quantum encrypted inside what appeared to be rust stains on the car's doorframe. Human technology had proven once again that sometimes the best place to hide something was in plain sight, disguised as ordinary decay rather than valuable crystal. As Zephyrian security forces escorted her away from her ship, Camilla wondered how long it would take them to realize that they had been outmaneuvered by a species they considered primitively reckless. The galaxy's balance of power was about to shift dramatically, and not in the direction that ancient civilizations expected. Humanity had learned to win through deception, innovation, and the willingness to take risks that more cautious species couldn't imagine. Sometimes that approach failed spectacularly, but when it succeeded, the results changed everything. Commander Thexhai had found evidence of human technological advancement, but he had missed the real revolution hidden in corroded metal that no advanced scanner would ever think to examine. The stars belonged to whoever had the courage and cleverness to claim them. Today, that species was still human.